Hello, and welcome all. I am Daniel Riddle, and I am the senior class reporter for the class of 2021. Today, we are gathered here to celebrate the end of our academic career. A long, winding road that seemed to have no end. Unlike the school system, I'm going to get straight to the point and keep this introduction short. With that being said, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing while our choir sings the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled, say does it wave? O'er the land of the free, and the hope of the brave.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Jordan Phelps, Senior Class Treasurer. Welcome all. Welcome Mr. Baylor, Dr. Scheichel, Mr. Nicely, Mrs. Strickler, family, friends, and loved ones who are here in honor of all my classmates today. Truly, I thank you all for joining us on our special day. I am greatly appreciative of all the little memories I have gained along the way. Between laughing with our friends, experiencing forced, awkward group projects, and learning how to navigate Zoom, everyone will have special memories of their time at East Rockingham. These memories we all remember fondly. Now, if you would please join me in a prayer. We come today in honor of those who have put in the time and effort to be here, that we may have bright futures and all stay safe and have a better day ahead of us. And we all say, Amen. Thank you. May all us Eagles administrators, friends, family, loved ones make a beautiful memory today.
We Are the Voices by Jim Papuli, sung by the East Rockingham High School Varsity Choir and dedicated to the class of 2021. In every heart there is a place that shows us who we are. In every heart there is a place that finally I can see. If I hear my heart, I will know it's true, if I listen when it calls. In every heart there is a place that finally I can see. Look around and you will see it. The time has come for you to see. We are the voices and we will be heard, finding a voice that will free us. We are the voices and we will be heard as we finally see who we are. There is only one way we can be, and that is standing up for who we are inside. We stand up tall so we can feel the unity of who we are inside. We feel a way to see who we are. I know who I am. I am breathing the fire of my soul. I am breathing who I am inside. I can feel the fire in my soul. Look around and you will see it. The time has come for you to see.
There is a place that
Hey everyone, my name is Jackson Stanley, and I'm the senior class president of the ERHS graduating class of 2021. I would like to begin by thanking my parents, families, friends for coming today to support us in this accomplishment. Recently, I have been wondering what would life be like after high school. I, along with many of you, have dreamed of growing up and moving on with whatever comes next. Now, I can't believe I'm going to be the one responsible for doing my own grocery shopping. Sounds very tedious. I don't look forward to it. Seriously, though, the diploma we are about to receive is more than a declaration of knowledge. These diplomas signify a greater responsibility we have, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. We have an obligation to be the best people we can be, to support our peers, and to use this knowledge for good. I have no doubt that the education we have received here over the past 4 years has prepared us to do just that. While certain topics may have seemed arbitrary or useless at the time, I now realize not everything should be taken so literally. After further analysis, I have discovered that trigonometry taught me how to cry in the bathroom stall without anyone hearing me. I have a feeling someone did hear me. Nobody tell me if you did. I don't want to know. And biology taught me how to never be caught off guard in a cold call. All jokes aside, I cannot thank you enough, ERHS faculty and staff, for teaching us both academic and life lessons. Speaking of arbitrary, I know we can all recall very well the famous SOL writing prompt that asks us to define success. While writing these prompts in school, I would always talk about money, fame, and credibility. However, if I could go back, I would like to amend my essay. Today, I would say success is measured by how you affect those around you, or the impact you make on someone's life. Society teaches us to make the most money you can, own as many houses as possible, and to seek fame, and only then will you be successful. In my very few years, I am proud to say I have learned that this is not the case. Money can be spent, houses can be bought and sold, and fame can diminish. The only definite thing we have is our friends and the memories we make with them. Part of me wishes I would not have realized this, so this goodbye could be a little easier. I do not want to think about not seeing you all every day again, never chatting with Mr. Bang in the hallway on my way to class, or never hearing Mr. Palmer's much-needed words of encouragement. Despite this, I can confidently say that we are successful, just in missing these small things. I know many start these speeches by saying they'll keep it short and sweet because we are all aching to get out of here, but I cannot share their love for this statement. While my time up here may have been short and sweet, I do not want to rush this moment. I want to remember this graduation, no matter how different it may be from those in the past, for the rest of my life. If there is one thing I have learned over my 4 years of high school, it's that time goes by way faster than we think it does. I hope you all will cherish this day as much as I will, because we will never have another high school graduation again. Moving forward, I encourage all of you to be the absolute best at whatever undertaking you choose. I encourage you to never forget the values and morals that East Rockingham High School has taught us. And most of all, I encourage you to be yourself unapologetically. I ask that you find beauty in your differences and recognize that it is those differences that make you special. Realizing and embracing this will allow us to be the change we wished we saw growing up. Finally, I would like to say thank you to my family, teachers, and administrators for helping me get to where I am today. Good luck, Eagles. Thank you so much for making the past 4 years so memorable. I have no doubt we will do great things. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to invite my fellow senior class officers to join me on the stage, and I would like to ask Mr. Baylor to step up to the podium with us. Now, as many of us know, this will be Mr. Baylor's last graduation with East Rockingham High School. As a small token of our gratitude for Mr. Baylor and all of the hard work he's put into our school, we would like to present him with the ERHS Senior Class shirt from 2021.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Baylor.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, East Rockingham's class of 2021. I am Juliet Good, President of the Student Council Association. It has been a tough year and a half, but together we got through it. While all of us have done virtual learning for part of the year and some have switched back to in-person classes, we have gained many life skills. This year, we had to navigate through a lot of obstacles alone, such as applying to college, applying for scholarships, juggling the online classes, and adapting to the new way of learning. But this shows our strength and has prepared us for the future. While it has been anything but easy, it has proven to be well worth the efforts because we have succeeded and are able to be here today and celebrate. Also, as president of the Student Council Association, I have tried my best to keep the club and school together and united, and these efforts proved fruitful. One particular instance is where many of you donated and spread the word about the food drive for the local food pantry. We would not have been able to pull this off without your support, and even with all of the other events and stresses in your life, you made time to help the community, and I thank you for those efforts. Now, because of those efforts and strengths through this difficult year, we get to celebrate our accomplishments. While this year was not a traditional one, we still got to experience some great things. For instance, some have learned new skills and new hobbies to cope with more time alone and in the house. Others use the time to learn more about themselves and figure out what they are and are not good at, and use that information to figure out their future careers. Whatever your plans are after high school, whether going straight to the workforce, the military, going to community college, or university, your futures are bright, and I cannot wait to see where it leads you. I thank my teachers who have helped me along the way, told me I can do anything I set my mind to, and have encouraged me to follow my passions. I would not be standing here today without you, so thank you. And while we may have been 6 feet apart, we were still in this together. I'm very excited to see the many paths around the world that we will take after this. And just remember, we will always be Eagles. Congratulations, East Rockingham's class of 2021, and good luck in your future endeavors.
Good evening, friends, family, and class of 2021. My name is Lily Bowen, the Vice President of the senior class here at East Rock, and I am so glad we are finally able to celebrate these graduates all together. This year has been a wild ride for everyone. Even though our community is slowly coming back together, the impact of this pandemic will last forever. However, I am not going to stand up here and remind you all of that. I am sure everyone has already heard enough the past 14 months or so. Instead, I want to recall the years prior and how they have shaped me and the entire class to the people we are today. My love for traveling began freshman year in piano class with Miss Butler. She and the entire music department provided the students with an opportunity to spend a long weekend in New York City. With lots of convincing from my parents, I got to spend those 3 days with fabulous teachers, chaperones, and new people that I now call my close friends today. That experience allowed me to trust the East Rock family with my safety, while also allowing me to grow and make independent decisions in a large city. Fast forward to the following year, I twisted my parents' arms enough to allow me to spend 10 days in France with the social studies department. On this trip, I shared laughs with people whom I'd never met before, tried exotic foods, and stayed afloat in the Mediterranean Sea, trading stories with teachers and friends. The memories and opportunities I took on that trip will forever be an inspiration to travel and learn about new cultures. Although these trips seem extravagant, small field trips have made just as big as an impact. Eating at the Taj of India and learning about gentrification has impacted me just as much as visiting the Palace of Versailles. I'm sure you all can recall a time where you went to see a play, went to the State Fair or Bass Pro Shop, where you made a memory that will last forever. Those memories would not have been possible without the help and support of teachers and staff for planning and leading us to new places and ultimately learn more about ourselves. So, I want to thank the teachers, staff, and student body for allowing me to grow and discover new places. With the trust and support East Rock gives to its students, we're able to start new jobs, depart for college, and in my case, move to London confidently. My friend with decades of life experience once reminded me, look to the future because that's where you'll be spending the rest of your life. No matter what direction my life takes me, I can always thank East Rock for being my first home away from home.
Tonight, we are recognizing the members of the 2020-2021 National Honor Society who are wearing a gold honor sash with the NHS insignia. Additionally, as listed in the program, the students with an H by their names are honor graduates. They have maintained a minimum cumulative average of 3.50 throughout their high school years. All of our honor graduates are wearing gold cords. The number represents their GPA range. Those students wearing 3 honor cords are the highest honor graduates. They have a cumulative GPA of 3.85 or higher. We will specifically recognizing those students as they receive their diplomas with the words "with distinction" read after their names. We would also like to ask those students graduating with distinction to stand now as a group to be recognized. We will also be recognizing graduates who participated in the Massanutten Regional Governor's School with the words "Governor's School" read after their names. These students will be wearing green honor cords. Congratulations to all these students.
Hi, my name is Abby Green, and I'm this year's senior class secretary. Teachers play a huge role in our lives. They show us how to read and write, how to do math. They teach us all about the history of the world and the science behind it. But the most important thing isn't what they teach us, it's how they teach it. It's the time they take to go the extra mile with their students. I talked to a few of my classmates about the teachers that have made the biggest impact on their lives. I was told stories of teachers who help students discover their passion through taking time outside of class to discuss their interests. Other people had stories of teachers who always knew how to calm them down when stress and anxiety took over. I even had a friend that said the environment of one teacher's classroom was the reason they realized learning didn't have to be stressful. These are the stories you don't always hear about teachers, but they're the most important. So thank you to all of our teachers. From elementary to high school, you have played a monumental role in getting us here. Thank you for teaching us not only how to be good students, but helping us grow as people. Thank you for all the hard work and dedication you put into your jobs. You truly do not get enough credit for all that you do. Speaking of teachers that have impacted our lives, I'm excited to introduce today's guest speaker, Mr. Sal D'Angelo. Mr. D'Angelo, known to many as Mr. D, was a science teacher at Elkton Middle School for 5 years before moving to Roanoke to teach at John P. Fishwick Middle School. While in Elkton, Mr. D taught 7th and 8th grade science, helped establish and teach the STEM program, and coached basketball and track. Not all of this year's class of 2021 was able to have Mr. D as a teacher, but if you went to Elkton Middle, you at least knew who he was. I was blessed with the opportunity to have Mr. D as a teacher for both 7th and 8th grade science, as well as being part of the first group of students to experience the STEM program. Mr. D is the kind of teacher that goes above and beyond. He's the kind of teacher that makes sure you always understand what you're learning and that you remember it. One thing I will never forget is his lesson on how gravity has the same impact on all objects regardless of mass. To show us this, Mr. D stood on a table and dropped a chair and a ball of paper from the same height to prove that both objects would reach the ground at the same time, even though they were different in mass. While the specific topic might not be the most important thing I've ever learned, the fact that I still remember it to this day speaks volumes about the kind of teacher Mr. D is. Unconventional lessons like this are the lessons that really stick in a student's mind, and the teachers that create them are the teachers that make the biggest impact. When Mr. D reached out to this year's senior class officers about being our guest speaker, we were excited to have him back, if only for one night. Without further ado, Mr. Sal D'Angelo.
I'm a little bit taller than her, so. Thank you very much, Abby, for that marvelous introduction. I know it was an introduction, but I wish you would have went after me because that speech is much better than mine. Parents, teachers, administration, staff, friends, families, and students, I would like to welcome you to this celebration of achievement. Before I begin, I would like to express my sadness to the news of Eric Baylor's departure. Although East Rock is losing its leader, his impact will forever be felt. Mr. Baylor, for your years of service, we thank you. I would also like to say a special thank you to Becky Lamb, Oscar Scheichel, the administration team of Mr. Baylor, Ms. Strickler, Mr. Nicely, and Mr. Phillips, as well as Mr. Alford Miss Butler, and the other faculty, staff, and parents that made this beautiful ceremony possible. I can only imagine the difficulty in trying to plan this event by still abiding by all the regulations and guidelines that seem to change on a weekly basis. You all did a fabulous job and should be very proud of yourself. Finally, students, as you put on your cap and gown this morning, I hope you felt a pride and accomplishment for what you did, because no one in this stadium, including myself, has had to go through what you went through. COVID brought many challenges, and many of us had to adapt not only the way we learned, but the way we live our lives. You not only made it to graduation, but you flourished through this unprecedented time. I couldn't be more proud of you, and I applaud your perseverance. For the next 2.5 hours, I'm going to take you on a journey. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They all know I love to talk, but I'm not going to talk that much. Back in 8th grade, when I promised these students that I would be at their graduation, I never imagined it would be on this stage giving this address. I can assure you this is the greatest honor and privilege I could have ever asked for. It is my privilege to deliver the commencement speech to East Rockingham High School's graduation class of 2021. Now, I promised Jackson Stanley that I wouldn't stand up here and talk about myself the whole time, and I am a man of my word. However, I know what everyone is thinking, and I have to agree 100%. I look real good in this suit. Jackson, I promise it's the only one. Mark Twain once said, "I'll never let schooling get in the way of my education." I'll never let schooling get in the way of my education. I heard that and I have to agree. Sometimes there's a lot of bologna sandwich when it comes to education. If you think about what the initials of bologna sandwich are, you'll know what I'm talking about. I've always been a firm believer that you don't need to know that mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. There are more important things out there. Uh-oh, I see some of my science teachers getting up. They're ready to tar and feather me up and down the streets for saying such hypocrisy. Robert Hooke is looking down at me, shaking his fist, saying, "Dang you, Mr. D." Well, maybe he's looking up. I'm not sure the content of his character, so I don't know where he ended up. My point is, it's not about the content that makes school the most memorable. It's about the memories that you make, the memories that we made that I have been blessed to be a part of. I remember y'all making fun of me for my New York accent, especially how I would say liquid instead of liquid. See, I can say it. I also remember you guys being so supportive of me with my irrational fear of ladybugs. You know, drawing them on tests, giving me gifts, just, being fabulous. Can you see this eye roll? I remember my basketball team. Dang, that was a fun year. I think we did more laughing and joking around than actually playing basketball. Well, that was until y'all annoyed me enough and I would yell, "Baseline," and you knew you were about to run some sprints. Natalie Meadows and Alexis Bogger would always take pictures on my phone, and they were always goofy and ridiculous. I still saved them. At one point, you're going to get married, and I'm going to make sure they get into the right hands. I remember when Carly Myers and Avery Herring wrote "Cavery" on literally every single thing in my classroom. Cavery, of course, being the ball of crazy that was whenever those two were together. What they don't know is that I cut out a few of those Caverys off the bulletin board and I hung them in my classroom in my school. Memories. Nathan Sullivan. Not only is he a phenomenal trumpet player, but oh my goodness, his pumpkin pie is the best pumpkin pie I have ever eaten. And I say that with conviction because my mother is watching this stream and she will never make me pumpkin pie again after this. So Nathan, you have to be my pumpkin pie plug from now on, if that's okay. Speaking of Sullivan, I remember a group of students that we called the Sullivan Boys in honor of their resource teacher, Mary Kate Sullivan. They were the loudest, proudest, most yee-haw, how you doing group of students I've ever had. They gave me headaches most days, but once you got to know them, they had the biggest hearts of anyone I've ever met. I mean, we even had a real-life Bruce Wayne in our school by the name of Jacob Taylor. And I think we all know who Bruce Wayne really is, right, Jacob? Memories. I remember the time that Dexter Shiflett tried to explain to me what raccoon hunting was. So let me get this straight. You go out at night, you get your dog, and you see how many raccoons you can run up in a tree. Then the next day you brag about how many raccoons your dog treed. My city brain still can't get a hold of that. But I'm fortunate because you all let me be a part of your world, and I'm forever grateful. Speaking of a part of your world, I remember Emily Stepp performing The Little Mermaid. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about someone who can sing. When she sang, "Wish I could be part of your world," thank you. It was so beautiful, I started to cry. And not just cry, but ugly cry. I mean, tears, snot, everything. And I can't help it. You are my students, my family, my children, and I'm proud of every accomplishment that you have done. Memories from Jacob Benz and Daniel Riddle's Potato Shrine. We found a ridiculously large French fry, and for some reason they made a shrine of it. We put it in the back of the classroom, which is completely unsanitary. But we laughed every time we looked at it. Memories. To Abby Green selling me boxes upon boxes of Girl Scout cookies. I wish I could say they were for someone else, but they were all for me. I have a problem, and I'm not ready to talk about it. Maybe it's actually a good thing I left. Between the Girl Scout cookies and the pumpkin pie, they probably would have had to roll me upstage to give this address. I remember Stephen Carrier always trying to show me his belly in class. Now, I don't even have an explanation for that, but if you know Stephen, it makes sense. Memories. Or what about the time I exploded an egg on Lily Bowen? So I read that if you squeeze an egg on all sides, it's not supposed to break. Well, Lily must have hit the gym a little hard that day, because as soon as she squeezed it, it exploded all over her. I'm still so sorry about that. Memories. And then that STEM field trip. Whew. Whatever sanity I had left was completely gone after that. To my parent chaperones, you know exactly what I mean. And I can never repay you for everything that you did to make sure we got those students back in one piece. Memories. There are so many and so many names, I could stand up here and talk about them all night. And with this reverberation, I could listen to my beautiful orator voice talk about it as well. Sorry, Jackson, that one is the last one. I'll spare you and just tell you about one more memory, maybe the one that is the most impactful, the memory of how I felt waking up to come to school. What none of you know is that while I was teaching you, I was not in a good place mentally. Dare I say the word that we all shy away from, but is so prevalent in every single one of us. I was depressed, I had anxiety, and I was not okay. But what got me through was the feeling of jubilation, anticipation, and excitement, knowing that every day I got to see each and every one of you. No matter how bad things got, no matter how I felt, knowing that kept me going. I look at each and every one of your faces, and I see the faces that truly saved me. For without you, I would have never been able to make it out of the shadows of depression and into the light of healing. I want to remove the stigma of discussing depression and let you know that you are not alone. We have all experienced some sort of depression, anxiety, and stress. What we need to do is normalize talking about how we are doing and open up a discussion between friends, parents, loved ones, and the community. We need to be there for each other, support each other, and love each other. If this pandemic has taught me anything, it's that it's okay to not be okay. I want to leave you with this mantra that I have adopted, not only for the success in your life, but to be a pillar of strength for everyone around you. I want you to remember 3 letters, K, P, P. K is to be kind. Maya Angelou once said, "Be a rainbow in someone else's cloud." Be kind to your friends. Be kind to your family. Be kind to strangers. Be kind to animals, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. You never know someone's story. You never know someone's past. Do not judge. Be curious. Ask questions. Show compassion. Be kind. The second letter, P, is to be prideful. Take pride in your work. Take pride in your studies. Take pride in your friendships. Take pride in bringing people up rather than bringing them down. We are so quick to judge what we do not understand and make fun of something that confuses us. Meryl Streep once said, "The thing that makes you different is your strength." My friend Chad once told me, the last letter is the most important and maybe the most difficult to understand. Believe me, I was in your seat a few years ago, give or take a decade, and I remember someone giving me the same message. I heard them, but I didn't understand. The last letter is to be present. Do not live your life passively one day to the next. Take charge of your life. Live every day to its fullest. Challenge yourself. Try new things. Meet new people. Be the magic you want to see in this world. Too often do we take the little things for granted rather than appreciating those little moments that make life truly special. My friend Chad once told me depression stems from the past and anxiety stems from the future. So why not live in the present? This community has experienced so much loss and so much heartbreak. You never want to look back and say, I wish I did this or I wish I did that. Be like Nike and just do it. If you love someone, tell them. If someone is belittling you or making you feel anything less than your true, authentic self, then dismiss them. If there is something that you want to do that takes you out of your comfort zone and makes you a better person, then do it. Be present in your life. I cannot stress that enough. Be present. Even if you adopt the KPP method, there's going to be a time in your life where you feel like you hit rock bottom. But let me tell you, rock bottom can be the foundation from which you build on to achieve heights you never imagined you could reach. You all were the brick and mortar for me that allowed me to reach the light. You didn't even know you were doing it. All you were doing was being your authentic selves, and you impacted me in more ways and words that I can never express. Remember, you can be those raw materials for everyone you meet in your life. You never know what someone's going through. Sometimes even the bravest faces are experiencing the most pain. You each have the power to rescue someone from the darkness. I know, because each of you did it for me. Be kind. Be prideful. Be present. But most importantly, be yourself. No one can do that better than you can. Because remember, regardless of your academic performance, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender expression or sexual orientation, regardless of your national origin, creed, color, or ethnicity, you must embrace who you are. Please, just no matter what, do not forget. You are important. You matter. You are loved. And you are East Rockingham's class of 2021. Congratulations.
Graduates, if you could please stand. Mr. Baylor, it is my honor to present to you the class of 2021. I'm not going to be able to see now. Stephanie Ann Atkins. Linnea Elise Adamite. Thomas Scott Earhart Jr. Crystal Barajas. Alexis Faye Balker. Chandler Blake Balker. Mason Montgomery Balker. Tanner Grant Balker. Jacob Christos Benz. Casey Nevea Boone with distinction. Lily Sophia Bowen with distinction. Jalivia Nicole Brown. Emma Michelle Butler. Isaac Kahn Butler. Peyton Andrew Cabral with distinction. Alexis Jade Campbell. Stephanie Renee Vaughn Campbell with distinction. Stephen Charles Carrier. Abby Marie Clayton with distinction. Kyla Lynn Clem. Brooke Marie Coleman with distinction and Sampson. Lane William Comer. Blake Michael Cook with distinction. Lindsay Nicole Crawford. Brooklyn Mackenzie Crummett. Katarina Victoria Cood. Emily Elizabeth Zerwinski. Connor Eric Dean. Samantha Marie Dean, with distinction. Tyler Scott Dean. Brooke Lee Dean. Tucker Evan Dove. Matthew Briggs Emmons. Derek Lee Eppard. Justice Aaliyah Eppard. Kyle David Evick. Bailey Ann Fleet. Chase Allen Forkey. Matthew Richard Fries. Penelope Helen Fries, with distinction, Governor School. Madison Taylor Garcia. Benjamin Michael Good. Juliet Olivia Good, with distinction. Rebecca Grace Good, with distinction. Frederick Lee Gooden. Abigail Elizabeth Green, with distinction. Kobe Sean Green. Blaze Malachi Hammer. Sean Patrick Hanna. Dylan Michael Hartman. Deanna Ann Hensley. Avery Brooke Harry with distinction. Isaiah Scott Herring. Kendall Douglas Howard. Zachary Tyler Huggins. Dakota Pierce Hypes.
With distinction!
Amber Lynn Jefferson. Matthew Stephen Johnson. Ginger Lynn Judd. Ethan Daniel Knupp. Trevor James Krebs. Michael Ian Creel with distinction. Jessica Renee Lamb. Andrew Scott Landis. Caleb Ashby Landis. Joseph Aaron Lawson. Logan Connor Lawson. Hannah Marie Lively. Cordell David Lucas. Alexander Carter Manzano with distinction. Bethany Ann Martz. Mariah Shaylin McDaniel with distinction. Darren William McDonald. Ava Renee Meadows. Natalie Faith Meadows. Catherine Dawn Murky. Aaliyah Jean Lorenzo Mina with distinction. Braden Wayne Morris. Bryce William Mullins. Cameron Page Myers. Carly Sue Myers with distinction. Patience Isley Newell.
Patience, good job, girl.
Casey Marie Nicholson with distinction. Zane Patrick Perrier. Jordan Scott Phelps with distinction. Abby Grace Phillips with distinction, Governor School. Camden Scott Phillips. Zoe Leanna Ramos Beck. Natalie Page Rains. Brittany Nicole Resendez. Daniel Aaron Riddle with distinction. Joanna Ashby Rivenback with distinction. Clark Lyle Robertson with distinction. Kevin Jerien Rodriguez Diaz. Aaron Blake Root. Fernando Adriel Rosales with distinction. Dakota Alexander Rothgab. Dream Lenasia Sewell. Zain Ali Shahzad with distinction, Governor School. Riley Michael Sharam. Alicia Dawn Shiflett. Avery Lane Kaufman. Dexter Lee Shiflett. Michael Franklin Shiflett with distinction. Zachary Scott Shiflett. Kemper Patrick Seaver with distinction. McKenna Grace Seaver with distinction. Esther Sarah Siren, with distinction. Cameron Michael Smith, with distinction. Jackson Ford Stanley, with distinction. Joshua Tyler Stanton. Emily Brooke Stepp. Hayden Ty Stewart. Kyle Robert Stern, with distinction. Nathaniel Paul Sullivan, with distinction. Hannah Marie Taylor. Jacob Sebastian Taylor.
Jacob, good job, buddy.
Vivian Lorraine Taylor. Melody Lynn Vaughn. Alexander Norberto Velasquez. Virginia Ann Velker, with distinction. Ryan Douglas Washington. Jericho Aaron West. Greer, Virginia Whiteley, with distinction. Emma Grace Wigley. Taylor Ward Wilfong. Brianna Nicole Williams. James Ryan Williams.
Don't know how I made it, but I did.
Braden Everett Wilt with distinction. Nicholas Charles Woodall.
Nick, congratulations.
Demetria Kalos Hall Work.
That way.
Congratulations.
So normally at this time, Mr. Baylor would come to the podium for final remarks, but what's normal this year? This year is a little different, as you've probably heard, because Mr. Baylor, when he comes to the podium, it will be for the last time as ERH's principal. Mr. Eric Baylor, like the members of the class of 2021, will be moving on to new adventures in a new position for Rockingham County Public Schools. Mr. Baylor is the only principal that ERHS has ever known, and I think it is fair to say that he has left his mark on all of us. I speak for everyone when I say thank you, Mr. Baylor, for your dedication and love to our school and community. Please give Mr. Baylor a round of applause as he pronounces the graduates for the last time as ERHS principal.
Now I have to speak after that. Wow. Mr. D'Angelo, I don't know if I've ever heard a more poignant graduation speech than what you talked about today, and I really appreciate you coming up from Roanoke to talk to us. And I'm ad-libbing here. I will say this, though. It's called echo, not reverb. I said reverb, and the Southern guy shut me down real quick. Kind of like a couple years ago at graduation when they turned off the sound, right? Sorry, guys. I just wanted to say that the East Rockingham community is an incredible community. And in 2008 and 2009, when we built East Rockingham, and I say we because it was the people sitting in the stands tonight and the last 10 graduating classes before that and their parents and grandparents and aunts and uncles. It was a community effort. And so I applaud you all and you all and you all for creating the school and just letting me lead the ship, because it was a heck of a ship. And it is one heck of a ship that'll continue forward. Now I'll get back on script. Before we move forward this evening, I'd like to recognize all the veterans that are here today. As the 77th anniversary of the D-Day landing in Normandy, France was earlier this week, we want to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to be here today. Please stand. Because of you, events such as graduations are possible. We're indebted to your service. East Rockingham would also like to recognize 23 graduates today with GPAs over 4.0 for their entire high school career. Please stand and remain standing, graduates, as I call your name. Those students are Joanna Wonderly, 4.0, Allison Munoz, 4.0, Aaliyah Mina, 4.018, Nathan Sullivan, 4.034, Braden Wilt, 4.052, Mariah McDaniel, 4.065, Clark Robertson, 4.1, Samantha Dean, 4.1, Michael Shiflett, 4.102, Abby Clayton, 4.111, Peyton Cabral, 4.113, Virginia Velker, 4.115, Xander Manzano, 4.117, Avery Herring, 4.133, Daniel Riddle, 4.136, Abby Green, 4.172, Juliet Good, 4.177, Fernando Rosales, 4.196, Greer Whiteley, 4.217, Jackson Stanley, 4.217, Abby Phillips, 4.283, Penny Freeze, 4.382, and Zane Shazad has our highest senior GPA at 4.383 over his high school career. Please give a round of applause for these students. In all, 60 graduates have been designated honor graduates by achieving a grade point average of 3.5 and above on all work taken in grades 9 through 12. These students must also earn either the Advanced Studies or Standard Diploma. The names of these students are noted in the graduation program. This evening, 82 students received the Advanced Studies Diploma, 70 students received the Standard Diploma, and 2 an Applied Studies Diploma, as well as 1 GED completer for a total of 155 graduates. At this time, I would also like to recognize and acknowledge our entire outstanding faculty and staff. They are bookending the seniors in the north end zone of the stadium. It is truly our teachers who make all the difference in educating the class of 2021. I would like to recognize 3 teachers who will not be returning for the 21-22 school year. Mr. Justin Rittenhouse, Mr. Devin Snow, and Miss Mary Donnellan. Please give them all a round of applause. In stating these final words to the class of 2021, graduation is always a bittersweet experience for a principal. I am graduating with you this year. Thank you for the well wishes. Thank you for making me a part of your graduating class. I will never forget the 12 years I was able to be at East Rockingham High School. For you all, this year especially has been a mix of virtual, blended, and live instruction, but no matter which method you like the best, you made it through. I have to believe that the adversity you faced in the past 15 months will make you better handle other adversity in the future. I'm very happy and excited for the seniors to be growing up and entering adulthood, but also sad at the same time to see you go. These 155 seniors will always be remembered. So often we hear in graduation speeches of trials, tribulations, and adversity that will come your way as you reach adulthood. How can I even bring that up with you guys? The class of 2021, born just a short time after the Twin Towers fell in New York, only to see their junior year of high school, 17 odd years later, cut short by COVID-19. Then your senior year starts with you at home, only to end with most of you coming back to school, but some of you still staying at home and some in between. You have already dealt with challenges. You have already faced adversity. You have already navigated trials and tribulations. What I wish for you is peace and happiness. You deserve it. You've already earned it. My memories of the class of 2021 will be that of a group of individuals who formed a united mentality and battled through the global pandemic, only to come out the other side all the better. You, ERHS class of 2021, are the group in the world to change the world to what you want it to be. Please remember that all of us have one life together on this planet, as Mr. D'Angelo said, and remember that all of our blood is red. More importantly even, remember that all of our sweat is colorless. If we all work hard together, we sweat, we work, we accomplish great things. We see past color, gender, age, socioeconomics, and if we follow our school motto of labor omnia vincit, hard work conquers all, there is nothing we cannot overcome. My generation needs your help. We can't seem to do those things right now. I know your class, the class of 2021, can. Whether it be in the classroom, on the fields, the courts, or working late at night to complete that project due the next day, you have earned the right to be proud on this momentous graduation day because you toiled through blood, sweat, and tears to get here. In band, chorus, football, basketball, track, acting, and judging, you were champions. You've already set high standards in all you do. After today, go out in the world and continue to achieve. Graduation means so much to me and your teachers. As we all know, education is a key to achievement. Doors will open that have not even been created yet in your future to come. I will leave you with this. When I speak to my high school friends, 35 years later, removed from today, we talk a lot about the could-haves and the should-haves in life. So let me ask you this question, class of 2021. Years from now, when you all get together after conversations about family and work, when you talk about tonight and high school, do you use words like could've and should've, or will you use the word did? Here's the great news. You got the rest of your life to decide. And when I say that, I don't mean you need to decide it tomorrow or next year. I mean, you can decide that right now. I will never believe that the East Rockingham class of 2021 was put on the earth to be average. You've already shown you're far above average. So as you leave here today and finish your graduation night at graduation parties, jobs, and family get-togethers to the east, never forget where you came from, but always keep an eye on where you're going. The sky is the limit for all of you. I'm so blessed to be the principal of this incredible school, and I'm very proud to be associated with the class of 2021. From the bottom of my heart, congratulations and best wishes. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. At this time, I would like to present the graduating class of 2021. On behalf of the faculty and staff of East Rockingham High School and by the power and authority vested in me by the Rockingham County School Board of Education and the Commonwealth of Virginia, I declare you graduates of East Rockingham High School, class of 2021. You may now switch your tassels.